Hello! So, I'm having a play today. I'm going to play with my painty papers, or rather painty cards in this case, because I was watching a video by Sasha Reade, who I love watching her videos, and she was playing with marbles and using them to make background painty papers. And so I thought, oh god, that looks good, I might have a go of that. As you know, that's what I like to do. So I've cut quite a few pieces of card down to A5 size. I may revise that if these are too big and cut those in half again, but we'll see how we go. So I've just cut down a stash of A5 size card, and we'll get going with the marbles and the paints and we'll see what turns out. Okay, so this is my first ever go, so let's just see how these turn out. And what I'm going to do is just put a few little spots of the paint down, trying to be careful. It comes out as it wants to, this. Okay, so that's the blue metallic from Wilko's, and we'll plop some pink metallic from Wilko's, and let me just give that a shake. It tends to all come out in one big blob, a bit like your tomato sauce. Comes out in one big blob before you can control it. Okay, and as I say, I have no idea what this is going to turn out like. Sasha did some brilliant background papers using this method. So, and I apologise if this is going to be a bit noisy with the marbles. If it is too noisy, I might put a bit of music on rather than the noise of the marbles. But just by way of example, here we go. So she just started to do that. Just go side to side on this one. Okay, get them all back up to the top end, and that's the first one that you might say is done. But I'll use my little metal spoon to get this out. What Sasha was saying was that you need to use actual card and not paper, because the paint will make the paper stick. So anyway, that's the first one that's turned out, so I'll let that dry. I've learnt my lesson from the last lot of paint, well, my very first painted papers that I did, that I didn't let them dry in between, and you know, we all know what happens if you, but I was impatient. But anyway, so that's the first one, and I'll go on and do another one. And what she also did was not to like wash them or wash the tray or anything like that in between goes. She just took a microfiber, well, she had a microfiber towel, and you just wipe them, basically. You wipe your marbles and you wipe your tray, and that's all you do in between the different papers. Okay, so let's have a go with another one, and I might do an up and down this time, see what that works out like. So let's do a different colour. Get another piece of paper or card, pop that in, and I might use the gold, and I don't know, because I don't know what makes mud. I need to learn that, but we'll have a go with the gold. Here we go. And just random little blotches of the gold. And what colour do you think with that? Should we go with the pink again? I don't know. It's all an experiment, so let's just give it a go. And I suppose if you put less of one colour on, then the one colour would be like the dominant colour, and so therefore I'll chuck another couple of marbles in actually. You might have one with just like hints of pink on the gold, I don't know. So it just moves it over the paper, gives you random patterns. So there we go, that's the next one done. Right, so that's number 2 done, and that's the golden pink. Okay, so let's have another colour. We'll have this sort of, I don't really know what that is. Is it pewter or something like that? It's not silver, it's too dark to be silver, and I've got a separate silver one, so it's not that. So it may be pewter or something like that. So anyway, here we go again, just little blobs of paint, tiny little blobs. Come on. And I believe this originated from, well, I don't know where it's very original from, but Sasha got this little method by one of her children's school teachers was doing this in their school, and Sasha decided to have a go of it. Oh god, that's a bit too much that. Anyway, see how it goes. And so she gave it a go and made a video of it, and some of the papers, well in fact all of the papers that she came out with were absolutely beautiful. So as you know, it is my want to have a dabble in all kinds of things, so I gave it a go. So let's just see how this one turns out with the pewter and the blue. Give it a swirl around, you can even do that. Just swirl your marbles. Pop them off to one side, and there's our next little pattern. Grab me little spoon and get these out. Get this one out, and that is our next painty paper pattern. I quite like that actually with the swirling. I might do that on a few more. So I'll pop this over to one side to dry, and we'll do several more I think. Let's just give these a clean. Okay, let's see what we can come up with next. So pop another piece of card in, and we'll go this pewtery colour again. And we'll try the pink with it. I think quite like this pink. It's very, comes out very light, but when it dries it's quite, has a lovely sheen to it. Oops, see, not concentrating. Anyway, here we go. Get it mixed about. There we are. See, I quite like this swirly pattern, but just for the sake of having different styles, I will carry on doing some stripy ones as well, so to speak. Okay, so that's the pewtery colour and the pink. Let that dry. I'll do a few more and then I'll show you the ones that I've come up with. Okay, just clean my marbles and the tray, and then I'll carry on making some more and come back to you when I've done quite a few. And what I also meant to say was you can do second and third generations of the painted paper from whatever is on your marbles. So I want to do another couple of the silver and blue because I really quite like those colours together. And then I've got some background papers for winter style cards maybe. So I'll put a bit of that one in and just a little bit of the darker blue. And this one will probably be quite messy at first, but when I get to the second and third generation of papers, it probably, hopefully, won't be as bad. It's quite gloopy, this one. So we'll leave that one there. That's the first generation, and we'll get that out, put it over to dry. Let's try the second generation. And we'll take that one out and then we'll go for another one. Okay, we'll take that one out. So that's the third generation, and I might see what it looks like on a fourth. And most of the silver is gone now, so I might just put a couple of extra little blobs of silver just to make up for the fact that the blue has overtaken it. Okay, just a couple of little blobs. Just to get some silver back into it, and we'll see how this turns out. Right, so that's fourth generation blue, and just some extra bit of silver on that one, and I dare say I can even get one more out of it. There we go. So this is actually more or less fifth generation, and it's still going to look quite nice in a background. So there we are. I'll just clean myself up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly walk you through some of the ones that have finished. This one has its lovely sheen on it, and it's got greens and the coppery colour in, and this is like a second generation of that. And then this one, it's mainly just, there's just little speckles of the copper in that one. And again, this one just with This is more of a stripy with just little speckles in. I'm hoping these are showing properly because there's a bit of glare from the light above, but it's difficult to get it in the right place to show you. And then this one with the pink and the silver, I think this was more the darker pewtery colour. So I'll just try and tilt it so that I can show you better the backgrounds that I'm getting. And this was the very first one I did with the gold and the pink, and again quite shimmery because these are the metallic ones from Wilko's that were quite cheap. So that's that one, and then the blue and silvery one, which I think was the second generation. They're just all here drying out at the moment. And then this one, which was more the, did I say, I can't remember what I said, but that one is blue and silver. And this one as well, with the more swirly pattern on it. So that's that one. And then this darker blue and green one that I did. And then this one, again blue and silver swirly pattern. And then this one is still actually quite wet because there were quite a few bigger blobs than I was hoping to put out on this one. But you know, I'll just leave it to dry and then deal with it when I'm ready. And then this one again is blue and silver, and I think this one was set like a second generation one. And then this one I actually experimented and did it more on a paper just to see how that would turn out. Now these two I've already started playing about with, but they're by no means finished. So this is the blue and pink in the background, and then I've started doing some, like, trying to make like a bubble effect on that one. And there's also some the pewter colour sort of leaf. It was a leaf stencil. It's not come out too clear, but I don't mind that because these are painted papers and I'll just make them into what I want them really. Now this one I've done halves each. So on this paper or card you've got the blue background, a few pewter splodges, and then the blue bubble, darker blue bubble. And then this one I'll just use like a brick stencil, and then I've also done some sort of like little bits of like a stamp with like words on it. Can't think just at the moment. I can't find my words at the moment. Like a script, that's what I'm trying to say. And just a few leaves from a different stamp. So that's that one. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use this one this time, and I've cut this down again to a smaller size. I mean, this now is well, 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. So I just basically cut it in half again. And I've got one of these sticky mats in my stamping platform. I just find it easier to use than magnets. So I'm just going to pop that on, and then that will hold that down for me. I'm using, let me get this and show you. I'm using this stamp, which is the, what's it called? Fantasy Flower Panel by Chloe Endine. That's the stamp I'm going to use. And as Sasha says, the trick to these kind of backgrounds is to just try and make a big stamp. And this one you know, can just go over sort of and slanted a little bit, so it will cover most of this. And I'll just pick that up, and then that's holding down in there, and I'm going to use my Versamark. And you don't really need to even go over it with your thingy bag, but I'll go over it with my homemade thingy bag. I think you all know what I mean, just to be sure. Because it's on paints, it shouldn't stick at all, but I'm going to just ink up my stamp with the Versamark. And because I'm not going to be able to redo it, because this is going to be embossed with white embossing powder, I'm going to give it a really good inking and make sure I get everywhere covered, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have a good result. Right, that's plenty on. Let's give it a good stamp down. I need to get me one of those, you know, the tools that go all the way over. In the meantime, I shall use my cloth to give it a really good press down and hope it has a good take, and then we can cover it in the white embossing powder and hopefully we'll have a nice stamp on there. Okay, lift that up. We'll take this out. Let's put that to one side, pop it on there. Get the Wow embossing powder. This is the opaque bright white, and it's the superfine powder. So let's just see how this goes. Okay. Okay, I'll just pause you while I get this powder out of the way, and then we'll come back and heat emboss it. Okay, I'll just give it a check over that I've not missed anywhere. Hold it up to the light. I don't think that's all done. It's difficult because the light is shining right off it. Okay, but that's with the Fantasy Flower panel from Chloe onto my background, so that's that one done. Okay, for this one I've pulled out my, where's it gone? This is the Chloe's stamp again, and it's the what are we called? What's it called? Flower Burst background. So I'm going to use it. I always think this is quite a nice one for like a wintry type birthday card. So I'm going to give that a go, and I've got the big stamp. This stamp is huge. It's about 7.5 inches long by 3.5 wide. So again, I'm just going to use my homemade embossing thingy and just go over it just to make sure it's all dry. And then again, I'm going to use the Wow powder, the Superfine in the opaque bright white. Okay, so that's that. Let's just get that down and try and line this up as best I can. It's difficult because the card's a bit bent, and then I'm just going to lay that down onto there, squish it with my cloth. I really need to tidy up here, then I've got a bit more working space. So anyway, I'll just give that a good squish down, and I think I've just moved it. I hope it's not gone too far, but anyway, we'll give it a go. It's always the danger, isn't it, with these kind of things, is that you're going to slip and move. Right, move that out the way and get some of this powder down. Okay, so that's the finished result of that one. This is more for a DL size card, just because the stamp itself is long and slim. So you would use that one for a DL card, and I think I have slipped a little bit, but it really doesn't matter because this one, I know it's called Flower Burst, but it always looks to me like, you know, a very snowy day, like almost like a blizzard. So there's more at the top, and then it gradually, as it's falling, gets a bit lighter. So so that's that one. Okay, so just to wrap up this video, the papers that are made with the marbles, these are the cards that I've made with those. This was the first one. Do you remember I used the Flower Burst one from Chloe? And so this is that one finished, and I've just put a glittery happy birthday on in the same colour as the matte. Some lovely ribbon and a little pink poinsettia that I made myself. So that's that card. Don't know if you can see the white flower bursts, but I just think that reminds me of such a like a wintry happy birthday thing, you know, with this, it looks like almost a blizzard to me, like snow. So I'd like to use that one for a winter happy birthday card. So that's that one. And then I made an actual Christmas card, but this came about because of a mistake. I tried to do that trick where you put the Versamark on the inside of the embossing folder before you actually emboss, but it just didn't work out at all. I just wanted the baubles to be embossed with the silver, but the whole thing was, so I need to study a bit more there. But I used a baubles embossing folder, then just covered it with silver embossing powder, and I also made some little poinsettias in the blue glitter. I'm trying to see that you can actually see it without too much glare. It's a bit difficult to film it really, but there you are. And then I just added a tiny little Merry Christmas, and I popped some glossy accents on the top of there. So that's a Christmas card. And then I also made a little Christmas ATC with the baubles on and a couple of little leaping reindeers. So hope you can see those. That was just a little die that I got from Printable Heaven, and I've just popped some little of the, what they call them, the enamel dots in the light blue colour. So that's an ATC that somebody will end up with over Christmas. Then another one of the papers that I used from with the magic marbles, the Sasha Reade technique, and I don't know, I don't think Sasha will say she started that, but she was the one that did the video that I followed and I was inspired by. So I've made this card, and it's got, this is a woodware stamp, and it's just like a big happy birthday stamp. And I thought, you know, the colours that went here, I thought, oh, they'll make a nice mail card. So that's what I've done, and I've just put happy birthday and a tiny little with love with some black enamel dots and a couple of little white enamel dots around and about. So hope you can see that okay. And I've just backed that onto some holographic paper. Now this one is again one of the papers that I did with the marbles, and then I just give it a bit of a spray, and it's just a very sort of subtle background in the blues, the silvers and the pink. And so I just made this into a little card, and it just says just for you, so it could be for anything. Just with some little enamel dots. Now because this is on the it's like almost a rainbow foil card mat, and so I've just sort of followed the colours with the enamel dots. So it's green down at the bottom, gradually turn into the sort of peachy yellowy colour, and then up toward, that always reminds me of like a sunset. So that's what I've done with them. This stamp is the 5 Daisies stamp from Woodware. So I've just left that as simple like that one. So that's that one. And then the final one is another simple card. I just used the I can't remember what this stamp is called. I must look it up. I'll put it in the description anyway. But it is a Chloe stamp. I think it's Fantasy Floral or Floral Fantasy or something like that. Anyway, I've just left this one simple, just on the backed onto the another silver and blue that I made with the marbles, and then just stamped this flowers stamp and embossed it with white embossing powder, and I just put some little silver enamel dots, a slightly larger one in the big flower in the middle and then 2 smaller ones, and then just used a little blue glittery happy birthday for that one. So hope you can see that without too much glare. Okay, so that's the cards that I made out of, so far anyway, out of the marbles papers that I made. I mean, I've still got plenty to play with. There's this one and a bit left of that one. I'll just show you what I've got left to use, and I'll be carrying on playing with them. So I've got this one that's got a sheen, slightly subtle, and so that's that one. This one, as you look through the light, you just sort of get hints of the copper. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you properly on camera, but it just gives a slightly either green or coppery, whichever way it is in the light. So that's that one. This one has a bit more of the copper and it's green, and this one I'll probably use, you know, as like trees and things, you know, like anyway, I'll see what I'm going to do with it. So that's that one, and you can see the shimmery bits of it in the light. Hopefully that's catching okay. And then this was the first generation of that one, and this has even deeper copper tones to that one with the green. So that's that one still to go. And then I've got this one still to play with. I'm not keen on, when I put the blue on, the blue is just acrylic paint and it's a bit dull, so I may do something to this one. I'm not sure what yet. Probably cover it in some kind of embossing powder just to give it a sheen, or if anybody's got any other ideas, just let me know. So that's that one. And then this one again is the copper and green, and I quite like this one. and again it's sort of more like forest type of thing with those colours. Then I've still got this one, a silver and blue, and I've got this one, a silver and pink, and just this lighter silver and blue one. So I've still got plenty to play with, and hopefully you know, I can turn them into something nice, but they do need a bit more work, those ones. So they're my bits left to play with, and the cards that I made along with them. So there we go, and I'll finish this video off now, and because I've got loads of other stuff to do. This has taken me over quite a few days because I keep having to stop to do something else. So hopefully I will do more with these papers and try anyway to turn them into something nice. Okay then, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.